Christ the Lord spoke about moving mountains in faith. He was not referring to physical mountains, like you see here on the background of this image. He was referring to paranormal strongholds. Now, a mountain serves as a compass in many cases. On this image, you see a forest, you see hills in the background covered with trees, you see a kind of fog low to the clouds, and above the clouds, which are so thin, you see let's say a rocky surface with sunlight shining on it, and you see ice, snow. That's snow because it's cold up there. Now, if you know how this mountain looks like from the sides, and you know that at one of those sides, which has a lot of snow, on that side of the mountain, just a few kilometers, there's this big pond with fresh water, and there are a lot of wild fruit growing over there. Then you know that when you see this side of the mountain to your right, it means that you are in the north. If you see that to the left, then you know that you're in the south. So a mountain can serve as a compass. Okay? So that's how mountains are often used. Now, why is it important to mention this? And that's because there are times, actually it often happens, but I'd say there are times that we are so attached to the quote-unquote guidance that the paranormal strongholds provide us with, that we are secretly clinging onto them instead of forfeiting them. Don't you know that there are people that hold on to sickness? Don't you know that there are people that hold on to poverty? Don't you know there are people that hold on to cursed relationships? Don't you know there are people that hold on to fearful ways of thinking? Don't you know there are people that are holding on to failure? Those paranormal strongholds give you a sense of security, and human beings really want security. Unfortunately, too often we seek security outside of Christ. So what happens then? Satan, to fill up this void, he offers a counterfeit security, which is backed up by evil spirits. And through the culture, he conditions people into holding on to this counterfeit security. What happens? That counterfeit security traps you, and it causes all kinds of dysfunctions. But when the dysfunctions occur, we focus on the dysfunctions instead of focusing on what's beneath the surface that causes it. When Christ spoke about moving the mountain by faith and by not doubting, he was referring to you being 100% aligned with him in your mind, and because of that, you don't hold on to any paranormal stronghold anymore. And because you don't hold on to any paranormal stronghold, you can easily cast it out, and it will be cast out. But a lot of folks take what Christ said, moving mountains, out of context. They use it for fighting symptoms. But that's what demon spirits want you to do. Demon spirits want you to be spiritually active against the symptoms, because eventually the symptoms will wear you out and you'll be exhausted. And if you're not careful, you'll collapse. So evil spirits want you to move symptoms. Christ talked about moving mountains. Christ was talking about uprooting the whole issue from the root and get rid of it once and for all. But many Babylon churches, they focus on the symptoms. And because they focus so much on the symptoms, you are trapped over there. You may arrive at that church today, and 5 to maybe even 10 years later, the pastor is still preaching the same sermon over and over again every Sunday, and then a decade has passed, but you see no actual improvement in your circumstance. Your body only became older. That's it. Christ wants you to walk by faith. And you can only walk by faith if you are aligned with Him. Look, what you see here on the background is a mountain covered with ice. So you can't expect any fertile ground on this mountain. On the hills below, you can expect fertile growth of plants, and it is happening. But why this rocky structure in the background covered with ice and nothing's growing on it? Now that's how paranormal strongholds are. They give a kind of stability, a kind of security that people hold on to. So they have a factual outworking, which is practical, but they're not fertile. It's sterile. It keeps you trapped. You won't go anywhere. Well, it's time to face them. Agree with Christ.